Thunderboats, they call them. Unlimited hydroplanes, 30 feet long and capable of speeds of over 200 miles per hour. Miss Budweiser is the queen of this elite fleet that races throughout the United States each summer. Miss Bud already owns back-to-back national championships in competition against the largest and fastest race boats in the world. Today, she attempts a remarkable feat, 3 straight national titles. Even though she does well in preliminary events, Miss Budweiser must win the final championship race to take her 3rd straight national crown. Many races have been won or lost in the pits, where the crew prepares the national champion for the grueling demands of the race course. Work begins even before the champion is lowered onto her custom trailer. As a heavy-duty crane performs its task, the hull is inspected for damage or fatigue. Slowly, Miss Budweiser comes to rest, while the crew readies for her arrival. Soon, the crew pours over the power plant that gives Miss Bud her go. The World War II fighter plane engine is a Rolls-Royce Merlin, heavily modified for water racing. The engine delivers over 3,000 horsepower, compared to 2,000 when flying, and it requires a complete overhaul every operating hour, compared to 400 in a plane. National champion Dean Chenoweth studies his boat just as seriously as he evaluates his competition. Meanwhile, his crew sets up Miss Bud to deliver every last bit of speed for the coming showdown. They also add 100 gallons of fuel. These boats burn 3 gallons to the mile, and they keep the oil level up to 20 gallons. Even as the crane lifts Miss Bud into the water for the championship race, work goes on. Chenoweth wears a heavy-duty life jacket, helmet, and other safety equipment in the cockpit. After a last-minute check, he barks the engine into life with a roar. And steers onto the race course to make his ultimate bid for a 3rd straight national championship. Placing his name on the big national championship trophy for a 3rd straight time will be anything but easy. He has the best competition that can be gathered on one race course. Miss Budweiser is in the number 2 lane as the field roars over the start. She's in the thick of flying white water, roaring engines, and pounding heartbeats. Miss Madison from Madison, Indiana, moves swiftly in the outside lane, but Chenoweth has the best strategic position on the inside. That's the shortest path around this race course. These 2 leaders battle furiously for the first lap. They are pursued by Atlas van lines, and all 3 run over 170 miles per hour on the straightaways, kicking up rooster tails of spray 300 feet long, 50 feet high, and packing more hydraulic force than a water cannon. It's on the number 1 turn of lap 2 that Chenoweth sees an opening and lets out the reins on Miss Budweiser. She answers with a burst of speed that rockets her past Miss Madison and into the lead. Unlike other speed equipment, hydroplanes are seldom referred to by number. Their racing names are used. Some represent products, others entire cities, and still others affectionate names bestowed by sportsman owners. They're all a part of a great, colorful outdoor sports spectacle. Today, it's Chenoweth who dominates the thrills, thanks to the speed, reliability, and handling ease of Miss Budweiser. Her hull design and driver's skill enable her to hug the buoys on the turns and outrun her pursuers on the straightaways. One by one, the challengers begin to fall back. All but one, that is. Miss Madison still won't concede. But Chenoweth continues to ride cool and confident, and Miss Budweiser behaves flawlessly. Back in the pack, Miss Timex and Pride of Pay and Pack have their own tight duel going as they power up the long backstretch, pursued closely by Budweiser Malt Liquor. As Miss Budweiser stretches her lead, other challengers begin to fade. The Town Club from Detroit is one of the chasers, and teammate Budweiser Malt Liquor is another speedy pursuer. The Pride of Pay and Pack from Seattle can't catch up, but won't give up. And the same thing is true with Atlas Van Lines, driven by racing legend Bill Munsey. And so it goes. Everyone is chasing Miss Bud, but no one can catch her. It's finally left to Chenoweth to dispose of only Miss Madison. Late in the contest, he begins to move away from the nervy Hoosier challenger. For owner Bernie Little, these are tense and excruciating moments. He's been in this sport for 10 years and has attained much success. But only 2 people in modern history have won 3 straight national titles. So he and his crew watch Chenoweth widen the lead, but peer anxiously at Miss Bud, looking for telltale signs that may signal a decrease in speed. And then the last lap. Chenoweth continues to move away from the field. As he guides Miss Budweiser through the turn, he looks smooth. But in the cockpit, it's like driving down a cobblestone street at 100 miles per hour in a steel-wheeled automobile. Literally flying home with the championship, Miss Bud skims along the backstretch with less area touching the water than there is in a pocket handkerchief. Now down to the final turn, Miss Bud heads for home with a 3rd straight national championship to add to her Gold Cups, Seafair trophies, Atomic Cups, and other victories. Chenoweth moves wide through the last turn, then guns Miss Budweiser down the straightaway toward that traditional symbol of success in motorsports, the checkered flag for 3-time American Powerboat Association national champion, Miss Budweiser.